Today's devotion is going to be just a little bit of an introduction to what we're going to start kind of full force next week, because as we have been and as we're going to continue to do for a while, we're stepping through the Book of Concord a little bit at a time. These are the confessions of the Lutheran Church. This is what we believe. And we just finished the Apology of the Augsburg Confession. So that we've covered the creeds. That's the first section, and then we covered the Augsburg Confession, which is the next section, and then there's the Apology of the Augsburg Confession, which is kind of a defense and an explanation of the Augsburg Confession, and that's the third section. And this fourth section is called the Smalcald Articles. Now, these were assembled with Martin Luther, who is kind of the ideological founder in some regard of Lutheran theology. That is where we get our name, Martin Luther, Lutheran. Anyway, so the Smalcald, I'm going to mispronounce that so many times. The Smalcald Articles were assembled as, it kind of functioned in two different ways. And so the governmental authority that Luther was affiliated with, or one of them at this point, the Saxon elector, John Frederick, this kind of comes from his desire for Martin Luther to compose kind of like a And there was also a recognition that this document could be a good summary of Lutheran doctrine for a papal council, right? Because during Luther's lifetime, he never wanted the church to split into dozens of different denominations. That was never his intention. He was a reformer. What he wanted to do was see the Catholic Church move back to where it should be. He said that there were enough things that he had to kind of stand and say, these things are wrong. We need to fix them as a Catholic Church. So a bunch of popes kind of cycled through in pretty rapid succession, and finally a council of the Catholic Church met to discuss the idea of reform and to discuss these different issues. So the Smalcald Articles kind of came out of that kind of situation. This is a summary document for a lot of Luther's beliefs, Luther's theology. So they're articles of Christian doctrine. So that is what we're going to be stepping into starting on Monday. Or if you're watching these, out of sync with when they're being released, this is only like 3.5 minutes. You can go ahead and watch the next one and just get into it. So if you have questions, if you have comments, if you have concerns, you can ask them below, but this is kind of just like a history context lesson. And honestly, you might be, ask me, and if I can't answer your question, I'll send you the resources to look into the history thing, because history has never really been my passion. So anyway, questions, comments, concerns below. Brothers and sisters, go in peace. Serve the Lord. Thanks be to God.